Stephen Loveday recently reported that Tesla was punished for repaying $465 million loan from the United States government early. Is this true? We'll tell you what we think in the video ahead. Hello, my friends. Welcome to Emotion. It's fantastic to have so many new subscribers coming on board. Great to have you. Make sure to check out our previous videos. This is very common, so if you're in America watching this video, don't worry, it's not just happening in America. In fact, Tesla and Ford are the only two US automakers that haven't gone bankrupt over the years. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has stated on numerous occasions that the electric automaker was on the verge of bankruptcy multiple times. And now getting back to this loan, Elon Musk tweeted Tesla and Ford are the only American automobile manufacturers. Tesla paid off its $465 million loan from the US Department of Energy 9 years early, incurring an early repayment penalty. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, recently mentioned this in a tweet. Musk's remark was in response to news from Germany that Tesla would no longer use government subsidies to build its 4680 battery production and recycling facility at Gigafactory Berlin. Many people were surprised because the company was set to receive $1.2 billion in subsidies for its upcoming battery plant. According to Musk, Tesla's decision in Germany was influenced in part by lessons learned in the United States. The CEO stated that the loan's onerous terms eventually resulted in a sum greater than the value of the money received by Tesla. As a result, the company decided to pay off its $465 million loan early, even if it meant incurring an early repayment penalty. This came as a surprise to many, as Tesla was penalized not because it didn't pay off its loan, but because it did so early. In comparison, the US government lost $11.2 billion in its bailout of General Motors, a company that, according to US President Joe Biden, is leading the electric vehicle revolution. Tesla's $465 million DOE loan remains a source of contention among the company's detractors, many of whom maintain that the EV maker exists solely due to a steady influx of government subsidies. It should be noted, however, that Tesla's most profitable quarters, particularly in recent years, were achieved with minimal subsidies, at least in the United States. Tesla's electric vehicles are unlikely to receive full EV incentives from the Biden administration due to the company's non-union workforce, but vehicles such as the Model Y are on track to be among the most successful electric vehicles on the market today. The same can be said for Tesla's other upcoming vehicles, such as the Cybertruck and the Semi, both of which are expected to disrupt the utility industry. There is only one country in the world that does that: America. There is no other country in the world that gives money to their competition overseas, and that to me is just pure madness. Anyway, hopefully, that'll all change very soon with a new Build Back Better bill now. While GM hasn't really had anything to show since then, Tesla has become hugely successful leading the world in electric vehicles. To take things is that, what are those? There are websites about this, and I'll put a link to some of those sites in the description. Tesla took on a Department of Energy loan many years ago, which some skeptics point to as one of the main saves for the company, but Tesla paid that loan off 9 years ahead of schedule. In fact, the electric automaker has made a habit of paying off loans early, and that's true. Unfortunately, the US government penalized Tesla for the early payoff, according to Stephen Loveday in the article. Musk recently responded to a tweet that explained the situation. Tesla has waived the battery production subsidy worth over €1 billion, 4 gigabytes in Berlin. If you're interested in other fascinating things about Tesla, then make sure to check out our video on Tesla's secret weapon, Gigafactory. You can go check this out after the video. In my opinion, Tesla will not accept subsidies that they do not require, even if they could obtain them. It's all about accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy and maintaining integrity. Now, Elon Musk tweeted, quote, "We learned our lesson with a $465 million loan received in 2010 to 2011. Onerous terms exceed the value of money received, which is why we paid it back so early despite an early repayment penalty." Now, honestly, his tweet, we don't think it's really relevant to this. The key reason is that Tesla is no longer getting these subsidies in Germany. They don't want to wait forever. It could take forever until they actually get these subsidies. Who knows? It could take forever in Europe, which is why automaking will eventually die there. Musk also stated, as he has in the past, that Tesla does not believe there should be any subsidies at all. Sure, if they're available, it'll take advantage of them, just like everyone else in order to remain competitive. But a level playing field makes more sense. He tweeted that it has always been his view that all subsidies should be eliminated, but that must include the massive subsidies for oil and gas, which governments do not want to do for some reason. Interestingly, President Biden promised to do so during his campaign, but he's not followed through. And based on how the situation is currently playing out, Biden is unlikely to do so on the recommendation of Elon Musk, who apparently does not exist, nor does Tesla. Only about 1.3% of all automobiles sold in the United States last year were battery-powered, and one company, Tesla, accounted for more than 90% of all sales. You guessed correctly, Tesla. So, what did Tesla do correctly? And where did the other electric vehicle manufacturers go wrong? Electric vehicles will not be successful unless a nationwide network of fast charging stations is built in tandem with the vehicles. Current EV business models are doomed unless automakers like GM and VW, which have staked their futures on them, invest in or collaborate in a robust supercharger network. These are the findings of a thorough industry study conducted by management experts from the University of California, Davis, and Dartmouth College. According to experts, large and traditional manufacturers have created interesting electric vehicles but have largely ignored the charging station issue. Meanwhile, Tesla took advantage of both sides of the market by establishing a large enough network of high-speed charging stations before selling too many cars. There are approximately 4,000 high-voltage super-fast charging stations in the United States, the vast majority of which are only available to Tesla vehicles. Most traditional automakers have yet to build and market an efficient and affordable electric vehicle to meet the market's current demands, while Tesla sells hundreds of thousands of efficient and environmentally friendly electric vehicles. One area where it hasn't had much to worry about is competition, but Tesla has been fighting battles in other areas as well. Several automakers, including Audi, Jaguar, and Porsche, have introduced much anticipated new models in the last year or so, aiming to challenge Tesla's electric dominance. However, they have barely made a dent in the United States. So far this year, the Jaguar I-Pace, an electric vehicle similar to the Tesla Model Y, has sold slightly more than 1,000 units. Porsche's electric vehicle, the Taycan, has been sold in similar numbers. Audi, which has gradually expanded in the United States over the last decade, released the e-tron, an electric SUV last year, but sales have stalled due to Tesla's market dominance. So far this year, Audi has sold slightly fewer than 2,900 vehicles. In many areas, the car is being marketed at prices that are 13% or more below its list price, which is unusual for an Audi. Despite being the world's most valuable electric automaker, Tesla still needs to figure out how to stay profitable, solve quality issues in its luxury vehicles, and turn appealing prototypes into mass-produced vehicles more quickly. Clearly, based on the figures we're seeing, these cars aren't igniting the world. Independent auto expert Carl Brower said, quote, "It was a mistake to believe that just because these cars were on the market, people would buy them." General Motors fared slightly better with the Chevrolet Bolt, which debuted in 2016. The company has sold 8,000 Bolts this year. The Nissan Leaf has sold over 3,000 units. Tesla clearly operates in a different level, as it does not break out sales by country. This year, 56,000 new Teslas have been registered in 23 states, including California, Florida, New York, and Texas, according to a cross-analysis of state statistics. Analysts predict that Tesla's 50-state sales total will reach 70,000 units. The company delivered approximately 180,000 cars worldwide in the first half of the year. Of course, electric vehicles, including Teslas, account for a small portion of total auto sales in the United States, which exceeded 17 million last year. Electric cars account for a larger share of the new car market in Europe, where Tesla faces more competition than in the United States, but not by much. There are many Chinese electric car manufacturers, but they typically produce lower-cost vehicles that don't compete directly with Tesla's products. Electric vehicles are the auto industry's fastest-growing sector, regardless of market. So, did the US government penalize Tesla for repaying the loan 9 years early? Well, it depends on how you look at it. Technically, no. It didn't because that was written to the contract, and Tesla would have known that if they paid the loan off early, they would have had to pay penal penalties. It's possible that Tesla hoped those penalties would be waived. Personally, we believe that would have been the case. Thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one.